Ba-dum, 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 bum. La-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum. La-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum.
You let me know.
Alright, so this man's about to tell us a story. Okay, the nerd rope story. Go for it.
First time getting high. And I wasn't. It wasn't voluntarily. It was by accident. So what happened was, I woke up one morning. I was hungry and I was searching around. I'm a little bit decently tall, so I can see on the fridge. My parents had hid two nerd rope candies. They're not candies. They're called nuclear ropes. I think that's the exact term. And they're 600 milligram nerd ropes. They're very overdosed nerd ropes. You're not supposed to finish them in one. Like, you're supposed to finish them over a week, right? They're on top of the fridge. I already knew my parents had, smoked. I didn't know about edibles, but I definitely knew they smoked. So I didn't suspect anything, even though they're in white packaging. That was it was white with see-through. So I picked it up, I opened it, I grabbed both actually and set them both down. I was eating the first one, I was walking around the house, and I was just, doing stuff. About 5 minutes into walking around, I already had finished it. And then I went back into the kitchen and I opened the fridge to look for a drink or something. And I sat down in front of the fridge and it was the best feeling in the world. I'd never felt so goodly cold. It felt like you were walking in the freezer aisle at Walmart with bathing shorts on and a towel over your shoulder. Dude, you just felt so chilled immediately. And I just laid there. Not even laid, I sat in the fridge like a throne, I guess. I pushed myself into the fridge. And then I laid down on my floor and I looked up and I was looking at my hands, and when I pulled my hands away, this is about 5 minutes into me just sitting in front of the fridge. I don't know the exact time frame. I know it was 45 minutes stretched out, but I'm looking at my hand and my fingers start to gently fade. It's I'm stretching, it's just pulling it out, it's stretching it. And then finally I start moving my hands and my fingers just start stopping in place. And at that point I was just really tripping out. I was so scared. I was just laying on the floor oh God, what is happening to me? I'm dying. I'm literally dying. And that is probably the worst thing that can happen in a trip, especially your first. I was so nervous. I was moving my hands around, couldn't figure out what was going on. I would say 30 minutes later, my parents had got home, and they were like, oh, what are you doing sitting in front of the fridge? I was like, help me. And they're like, oh, worried, because I just said help me, and I'm laying on the floor in front of my fridge. And then they're looking at me. They said my eyes were bloodshot. Never had bloodshot eyes before. And they were like, oh, are you okay? Blah, blah, blah. And then my stepdad or my mom, one of the two, noticed the wrapper on there. And they're like, did you eat this? Did you eat this? And it's pretty obvious that I did. But I was like, I don't know. I ate a nerd's rope. And then, at that point, I was so, they just out of it. They were, trying to comfort me. And then they took me upstairs. And they were like, okay, you just took in a lot of, milligrams. I had no idea what any of that meant. Whatever they were telling me, it was right out the other ear. And it was just overwhelming. But then they put on Disney classics.
Oh my god.
Upstairs for me.
Dude.
So I watched Nemo. I watched... I could not sleep.
Remember everyone, don't you?
I could not sleep.
Every movie.
Yes. It was Nemo, Bambi, Pocahontas, which I think they actually ended up switching it because they stayed with me through the whole thing. They ended up taking that off. I could see why now, but I didn't know the exact reason. Probably the guns or some shit. Because I was freaking out. I was tense as a board. It was really, really bad. And then I ended up going into the second phase of chills, but in a different way. It was more my body would get really heavy, and then it would get really cold, and then I'd get really light after I'd start to warm up, and then I'd just get really cold and feel really heavy again. It was so weird. It was the weirdest thing. And then I ended up falling asleep, and I slept for 32 hours, I think, or 31 hours over a day.
Over a day.
Well, I woke up. I woke up, like walked around, and then went immediately back to sleep, and then slept again, like for a really long time. I think I did that like twice. So it wasn't just a consistent sleep, but it was me literally waking up for like 10 minutes max, going to the bathroom, laying back down, going to bed, and I was asleep.
Oh my god.
I woke up. My parents went to take me to see if I was okay, because that's a fucking lot. And then they were like, they didn't say the exact reason at first. We didn't want to like just expose myself to all that, and and they were like, no, he seems fine. It seems like he's been super dehydrated. Obviously, I was not drinking any water during that entire period of time, that 40 something hours of whatever happened. I don't remember a lot during the movies. I just remember watching them and then the ending popping up. And that was like where everything, like the start of the movie and then like the end of the movie. That's like what I remember. And so I remember the movies, but besides that, I don't remember anything except being stuck in place, like glue, and getting really heavy, and then getting really light, and then getting like really cold. Like it was just really, really cold all the time. I haven't done edibles again because I'm actually kind of scared to do them. I'm not like threatened by them. If I was with friends or my parents, like eventually after I get a little bit older, if I was with parents, I would definitely do it. But yeah, it was a worst
well, if you
trip.
do it responsibly, yeah, you won't have that problem again. But
it hit me out of nowhere. I grabbed the nerds rope, man.
The nerds
like,
rope, yeah. How
and I was
could
gonna
you
eat
have known?
2 of them. Imagine if I would have gotten the other one on top of that.
You would have died.
I wouldn't have remembered any of
probably.
it.
You wouldn't have remembered
I would have
shit.
lost all memory. I would have turned completely dull.
Belligerent.
Oh man,
Absolutely belligerent.
It was the worst, best experience that you could have, like all mixed together, because it was like so good in the feeling, and then it was so fucking bad as well. It was so bad. Oh my god. I even if you were ready for that, I wouldn't advise it. Like 600 after I went and researched, that is a stupid amount. Most people do like 25, 50, dude. It was 600, bro. In 5 minutes. Oh my god. My parents tried to get me to throw up as well. That was another thing that sucked. They were trying to get me to throw up, but it was already just so long. I had already digested it. Like, oh god.
God
oh
damn.
man. Yeah, that was not the best. I actually, there was a guy with the Misfits who kind of did the same thing. Where there was it was a nerds rope as well. When I saw it, I was like, dude, the same thing fucking happened to me, bro. It was what's his name? I can't remember. He's with the Misfits. He was chilling with them. He's not a part of the group, but they were at the Misfits house, and they have like a snack bar with like regular snacks, and then right next to the regular snacks look like regular snacks, but they're edibles. They're like edibles. And there was a nerds rope, and it was 400 milligrams, so it was actually less than mine. Or maybe 500, somewhere around there. It was really a lot, but not as much as mine. And yeah, he had ate it as well, thinking it was a nerds rope. And I found that, I was like, dude, we're the same exact situation. Obviously, he had been prior to edibles. He'd been prior to, like weed and THC and shit like that. I had not. I completely clean. Completely clean. I never even drank alcohol. Like, I never snuck a sip from my parents or anything. Like, literally completely clean, and that shit hit like a truck, dude. Like, oh god. Not again though. I'm smart now, dude. I read packages. I've gotten like PTSD from it. I read like chips. I even chips, like chip bags, I read them. So I can't like eat something now without reading it if it's in a package.
Dude.
Yeah. It's rough.
Yeah.
I think it was good though. Overall, like afterward, it wasn't miserable because there was good parts. If there was no good parts, worst experience of my life. I've literally hurt myself really fucking bad before. That was like above it. That was ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
I don't know.
thank you for the story, man.
Yeah, no problem, bro. That was I can't even explain it. Now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, dude, that was. Because I'm trying, like, the main reason I think about it so much is because I try to remember what happened in between those long jumps of not remembering, especially like in between the movie. Oh god.
Well, anyways.
Hey man, it happens.
Yeah, man, it happens. Well, that was the story. See you around, say you crew. In the next one.
Bye bye, people.
I realize I haven't been happy for a while, and I've come smile. 'Cause all along I've had people all stacked up in a pile. I found a few chords I can play and show off all my style.